to demonstrate their musical talents.
Plus, faculty and staff search to fill their pockets with gold. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
Digital Production Center on the Troy campus with news from Troy University locations around the world. This is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for March 19, 2012. I'm Christina Cook.
And I'm Courtney Steele. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University Student Government Association is looking for students to fill the SGA Senate next year. Applications are now available for next year's Senate. There are 20 at-large seats that any student can run for and 10 academic seats that are available for each of Troy's 5 colleges. To run for an academic seat, you must be a major in the college. No prior SGA experience is necessary to run, but senators are required to attend the SGA's weekly Tuesday night meetings. Applications are attached to the notice included in the Trojan Today email and are due this Friday by 4 p.m. in the SGA office.
Troy University students will have the chance to show off their musical talent in this year's Limelight competition. And as Rachel Scarborough shows us, there's a few changes this year.
Across the radio and across the radio dial is the theme for this year's Limelight competition, and they want you.
Limelight is a vocal competition. It's not only for individual artists, it's also for bands. Do anything that can express their talent. They can bring their full band, all their equipment, or they can come, if it's one person, they can perform a cappella, or they can bring a track with them, just anything that shows their best abilities.
And this competition is just not for Troy University students.
We want country, R&B, hip-hop, rock, anything and everybody. You don't have to be a Troy student. Anyone can come out and audition.
This year, the winner of Limelight will get to experience something that every young artist dreams of doing.
In previous years, they've gotten to record a single with Ilium Records, but this year we're actually going on tour. We're doing a show in Troy, Montgomery, and Birmingham. So whoever wins will actually go on tour with us.
This competition not only showcases talent for some students, it prepares music industry students for the real world.
For one, it helps Troy's music industry program. We're all students, and we all need to learn how to do this before we graduate. And it also helps them get their name out. Ilium Records is an actual LLC recording company. And if they work with someone like us, then that looks good on them, and they're going to perform with us.
This year, they are not only looking for musical talent, they are looking for people to introduce those talents.
We're also looking for MCs and DJs for each different type of genre because our theme is across the radio dial. So if we have a hip-hop DJ, we'll have them introduce our hip-hop band, or a country MC or something like that. We'll introduce our country band.
Rachel Scarborough, Troy TrojanVision News.
Auditions for Limelight artists, MCs, and DJs are this Tuesday and Thursday in Smith Hall, room 121, from 6 to 8 p.m. Well, Courtney, it seems I didn't have any luck finding that pot of gold this weekend.
Me either, Christine. I'm pretty sure that's the story for most people. But today, some faculty and staff got an extra opportunity to strike it rich. St. Patrick's Day may have been this past Saturday, but some faculty and staff members at Troy University are trying to see if they have the luck of the Irish as they try to find a pot of gold hidden somewhere on campus.
This is our annual search for the pot of gold, and it's an annual event that we do in conjunction with our Irish celebrations here on campus. And it's really a day set aside that faculty and staff can just have some fun. It's a competitive-based search. It's become a tradition, and I think our faculty and staff enjoy the tradition.
The search has taken place for the last 12 years, and the winner receives a basket full of goodies. One faculty member has won several times and is trying again this year.
Dr. Ken Robley from our math department is a multiple-time winner. In fact, he won so many times prior to last year, he decided to bow out of the competition so that somebody else would have a chance. He's back in this year, and if my money were on somebody, it would be on Dr. Robley.
Starling said Mondays are typically tough days to return to work, so this search is a fun way to start off a new week.
Campus observed the spring break holiday this past Friday, And it is difficult coming back on a Monday and tending to all of the tasks and responsibilities we have departmentally, but why not make it on a Monday and have a more enjoyable Monday?
Faculty and staff scattered the campus searching like wee little leprechauns for the pot of gold. There are no rainbows out today, so clues were sent out every hour using a little technology.
We send them out via the Trojan email to all Troy campus faculty and staff, and it's up to them whether they participate. But we've seen the participation and the interest in our pot of gold search grow every year in the 12 years we've done it.
In a strange turn of events, no one discovered the pot of gold today, or at least they discovered it and didn't turn it in. Starling sent out an email today saying the pot of gold had not been turned in, so they're going to replace the pot and give someone a chance to find it again in the same place it was placed earlier.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. Authorities have identified a Georgia man who drowned in northeast Alabama over the weekend. Officials at Little Rock River Canyon say 24-year-old Ramirez Austin died while swimming with friends at the National Preserve yesterday. They didn't give his hometown.
And in Huntsville, a federal judge is ordering Madison County Circuit Clerk to pay a $5,000 fine and spend 1 year on probation for illegally sharing her password to a state computer system. The judge imposed the sentence on 57-year-old Jane Smith today, less than a week after she won re-election.
And in Montgomery, Alabama is considering joining the ranks of states banning cell phone use by school bus drivers. The bill will allow bus drivers to use their phones only in case of emergency or if parked or pulled over securely on the side of the road.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the baseball team began their search for the Sun Belt Championship, taking on South Alabama. Daniel Purcell will be in with the details of the series coming up in sports.
But first, French officials say 4 people are dead after a motorcycle gunman opened fire near a Jewish school in France. We'll have that and more when we return.
Time was, kids did what came naturally, spending free time running through the grass, exploring streams. But times have changed. Today's indoor kids spend more than 7 hours in front of electronic media. That's why National Wildlife Federation created the Be Out There movement. Outdoor play improves kids' health, body, mind, and spirit. It helps them stay fit, enhances creativity, and could even make them better students. There's a reason they call it the Great Outdoors. Learn more at beoutthere.org.
Massive earthquake has rocked the city. West natural disaster peace region has ever been.
When a disaster strikes, time is a killer. The UN Central Emergency Response Fund jumpstarts relief efforts, which saves lives. Help us help in time. Donate now at rapiddisasterrelief.org.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we go to Christina Cook at the Global News Desk. Christina?
A gunman opened fire in front of a Jewish school in France, killing 4 people, including 3 young children. The gunman then took off on a scooter. It is the latest in a string of motorbike shootings in and around the city of Toll House. Last week, a gunman killed 3 soldiers in 2 separate attacks before escaping on a scooter. Manuel Gallegos reports from New York.
Grieving relatives arrived at the Ozar HaTorah school as news spread of the shooting. All the children from this school are like my children, this woman said. Police say a gunman on a motorbike opened fire just before classes started at the school in the southwest city of Toulouse. A rabbi, his 2 young sons, and another child were killed. The prosecutor says he shot at everybody who was near it, children and adults. The children were chased inside the school. Investigators say the gun used in the attack is the same one used to kill 3 soldiers in 2 separate incidents in the same area last week. In both those shootings, the gunman escaped on a scooter. French President Nicolas Sarkozy rushed to the school. He promised to find the killer.
Tragédie nationale.
Authorities are trying to determine if this latest shooting is a terrorist attack. So far, the motive is unknown, but one of Israel's top diplomats in France says it's clear the shooter singled out the Jewish community.
The Jewish school was a target. This is something that cannot be understood. How can you aim at children from a close range and kill them, at innocent civilians?
French media reports the soldiers in last week's attacks were of Arab descent. Security is now tighter at both Jewish and Muslim buildings around Toulouse. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News.
It's a head-to-head battle in Illinois between Mitt Romney and Rick Santorum. The two GOP presidential hopefuls spent the day trading barbs over each other's economic plans. Randall Pinkston reports from the White House.
Thank you very much. Mitt Romney took the podium in Chicago, focused on a fall matchup with President Obama.
This election is going to be about principle. Our economic freedom will be on the ballot.
First, Romney faces Rick Santorum in Tuesday's Illinois primary. Romney is fresh from a win in Puerto Rico, and new poll numbers show he is leading Santorum by 7 points in Illinois. But he's not taking any chances. The former governor is quick to point out why he is the better choice for the Republican Party.
Now I'm running for president in part because I have the experience and the vision to get us out of this mess.
Romney is linking Santorum to President Obama, calling both men economic lightweights. Santorum is pushing back.
You hear him talk about, I created jobs in the private sector, but he didn't do anything in Massachusetts to create an environment for jobs. Why? Because he exploded the size and scale of government.
Santorum is brushing aside new calls for him to step aside. Romney's campaign insists there's no way Santorum can pick up enough delegates to lock in the nomination. But the former senator plans to take his fight all the way to the GOP convention.
That if we happen to win Illinois, that will be the 11th state that I've won in this election.
Illinois is essentially a two-man race between Santorum and Romney. Ron Paul and Newt Gingrich chose to skip campaigning there, keeping their focus on contests in the weeks to come. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, the White House.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, including a rare hearing disorder that leaves people hearing the echo of other words, you can tune in to Trojan Vision Global News right after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Courtney.
Thanks, Christine. And now Danielle Percival joins with a look at sports. So Danielle, I know last week Troy students were out on a spring break, but it seemed like the athletes had a little work to do.
Well, that's right, Courtney. The Trojan sports teams were still in action, including baseball getting the conference schedule started, so let's get right into that. Friday night saw the end of an era, or at least the end of a .98 ERA for the All-American Tyler Ray. Ray suffered his first loss in nearly 2 calendar years and ended his win streak at 14. The Trojans lost their conference opener to South Alabama Friday night 7-2, but bounced back Saturday with a 10-6 victory. But on Sunday, the outcome wasn't as bright for the Trojans. It only took 7 innings for the Jags to knock in 16 runs, whereas the Trojans only managed 4. The game went final after 7 innings due to the Sunday 10-run rule. Here's head coach Bobby Pierce with his thoughts on Tyler Ray.
Tyler went 20 starts without a loss, and I don't know that anybody could ever say that. I don't know that that's happened before. It probably has, but it was so long ago we had to look up when his last loss was, and back in 2010 he lost a game in the conference tournament. So remarkable run for him, and like I said, hate to see it end.
The Trojans will look to get back on the right track tomorrow night, taking on Alabama. The Trojans and Crimson Tide square off Tuesday night at 6 at Riddle Pace Field. And the Trojans softball team got their Sun Belt schedule started as well this past week, taking on Louisiana Monroe. The team split a doubleheader on Wednesday in Monroe, Louisiana, with the Trojans taking the first game 4-3, but the Warhawks had their revenge in the second game, winning 2-1 in 8 innings. On Thursday, the teams hit the diamond again, but Troy was unable to come away with the series victory as they lost 5-3. And that moved their record to 18-7 heading into a weekend off. Their next action will be at home Wednesday against the Auburn Tigers at 6 o'clock at the Trojans softball complex. And one of the few teams in action in Troy this past weekend was the women's team. And the Troy tennis team has won 2 in a row after beating Georgia Southern on Thursday and defeating UALR at home on Sunday. The Trojans took the match 6-1 to even their record at 6-6. This marked the first match against a Sun Belt foe this season for the Trojans. Their next opponent will be Jacksonville State on Wednesday, and that match is scheduled to begin at 2 at the Lunsford Tennis Complex. And after 10 seasons with the women's basketball team, Mike Murphy will not be returning next season with the Trojans. The decision came following a meeting between Murphy and athletic director Steve Dennis. Murphy's career record was 110 and 178 during his time with Troy. Assistant coaches Craig Kennedy and Jennifer Wasson will assume the day-to-day responsibilities while the coaching search takes place. And while Peyton Manning worked out for the Broncos and Titans over the weekend, some Trojan football players got their chance to work out for the NFL scouts before spring break. Football season is over, and for some players, they may never put on a Trojan jersey again, but they were looking to get a shot at wearing an NFL jersey by impressing scouts at Pro Day. There were some impressive numbers recorded on the day, including Brandon Boudreaux bench pressing 225 39 times, and as head coach Larry Blakeney says, even misty skies couldn't slow down these athletes.
Looked like there's some guys running pretty good, and I just heard my squad ran 4.6, and we had a 4.19 recorded a while ago by Rookway, and Jamie Hampton said he ran in the 4.5, so it's a fast day.
For two former Trojans participating in Pro Day, this wasn't their only time working out for NFL scouts recently.
It's fun for these guys, and of course there's some of them that are really vying for draft status, and certainly our guy James Brown and Jonathan Masquale.
I went up to the combine last week, and I competed very well with all the other prospects around the country, and coming out here today with a little bit more motivation to boost my draft stock.
The NFL Combine was in Indianapolis in February, and while there may have been a larger turnout, nothing beats having a home field advantage.
You know, one thing different about Pro Day is it's a little more laid back because there's not as many people here. But at the same time, you got scouts here and you want to make an impression.
Going to the combine, you see all your, the guys in your position, the guys you're competing with for that draft spot. The adrenaline is rushing, so it's definitely a lot more pressure. And coming here, just holding that pressure and knowing how to deal with it at the combine, at the big show, and coming here back to Troy, this is my comfort zone. I put in my work here, and I feel comfortable here, and I was able to do well.
The NFL draft is still a month away, with the first round set for April 26th in New York. And while we've got some guys who are preparing, trying to make it in the NFL, we've also got the team that will be hitting the field for the Trojans in 2012, hitting the field, getting ready for their upcoming season as they started the spring schedule for practicing this past Sunday. So it's never too early to start talking about football.
Definitely. I'm sure Trojan fans can agree with that.
Of course.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thanks.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, band geeks are taking over Claudia Crosby. Find out why in today's Trojan Talk.
Plus, this last day of winter has people breaking out their summer attire. Is it really time to put up our sweaters and jackets, Derica?
Well, Courtney, yes, winter is over and spring and summer is coming quick. Those sweaters are not needed anymore. I have more coming up next in weather.
Hi, I'm Mia Hamm. As a professional soccer player, I know how rewarding sports can be and how quickly injuries happen. So I've teamed up with the American Association of Orthodontists to ask athletes to play it safe. With my years of training, I know what it takes to become an expert, and orthodontists do too. They're the experts who help people obtain healthy, beautiful smiles. Wear mouthguards, face masks, and helmets to prevent injuries. Keep smiling and visit braces.org.
There's a lot more to somebody being successful in society than just their diploma. We're in the business of making well-rounded individuals.
They taught me so much more than skills. At Troy, they truly believe that one person can make a difference.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. We're not trying to be all things to all people, but what we do very well.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Derica James joins us with a look at weather.
Well, Derica, today is the last day of winter, but it hasn't been feeling like it. It's actually been feeling pretty summery, springy already.
Actually, it really has. Actually, I thought winter was gone a long time ago, but now we're really starting to feel that spring and summer temperature, even getting back into the heat index. But I have more of that later. First, let's look at our campus snapshot. As we look, we can see that it is a sunny day outside for Troy University. It's a nice day to start back school with after we had our spring break. As we go into our current conditions, we have clear skies. The temperature coming in at 83 degrees. Dew point at 54 degrees. Humidity at 37%. Barometers at 30.10 inches and falling, with winds coming from the south at 10 miles per hour. As we go into today's stats, we see a high of 86, low of 59. There was no rain in sight. Sun rises at 6:48 a.m. and the sun should set by 6:55 p.m. As we look at temperatures around the state, we see Huntsville coming in at 86, Birmingham at 85, Montgomery at 84, Troy at 83, Phoenix City at 85, Dothan at 83, and Mobile coming in at 79. So it's a pretty nice warm day across the state of Alabama. As we look at the southeast, we see that those temperatures are pretty much staying consistent, mostly 70 and 80 degree temperatures. And as we can actually see, surprisingly, that Alabama is a little bit warmer than Florida is, which is very surprising for this area. As we look at the U.S. as a whole, however, the West is still feeling those winter temperatures. They're still seeing about some 40, 29 degree weather, but mostly nice all across. As we look at the current heat index, yes, it's back, and we're actually seeing about a 2 to 3 degree increase in the temperature. We're only seeing an 83, but we're probably feeling about 86 if you're outside. As we look at current surface, we see a lot is going on. We have a lot of high pressure systems over in the west with some snow and a cold front coming through, so that's probably why they're still feeling those winter temperatures. But if you look closer, we have a rain system coming through from our west, but we shouldn't experience that anytime soon. We're still going to be experiencing this high pressure system. As you see, over the next 48 hours, that rain system is going to be moving through the west area. They'll probably be seeing about half an inch to an inch of rain coming through. But as you can see, that rain is just going to be in the west. It's going to be a slow moving system because, as you can see, that rain is still moving by Wednesday. And by Thursday, that's when we should first see about a 30% chance of that rain, probably by an inch of that. And as we go into Friday, we see that we're still experiencing that rain. As I said before, it's going to be a slow moving system. So it's going to be here for a while, only to the weekend. As we look at tonight's forecast, partly cloudy skies, well, calm, cool night. Winds coming from the south-southeast at 5 miles per hour with a low of 59. So you can still go out, have fun, but make sure you have that jacket because it is going to be a little snippy. As we go into tomorrow's forecast, mostly sunny skies, a very high UV index around 8, with a strong breeze coming through from the southeast at 14 miles per hour with a high of 86. Then as we go into our class outlook, we see at 7 it's going to be 61, and you're not going to need that jacket. At 10 a.m. it's going to be 73. So make sure you dress light tomorrow in light colors. At 1 p.m. 82 degrees, enjoy the quad. Go out, have a picnic. It's going to be a great day to have one. 3 p.m. it's going to be 84. Take a jog or just have some nice ice cream. As we look at our 4-day forecast, we see that Tuesday is going to be a high of 86, low of 60. Wednesday, high of 86, low of 60. And then Thursday, coming in at high 84, low of 58. And then Friday is going to be a high 85. So as you can see, it's going to be a very nice warm week. But getting to about the end of the week, we might be starting to see about a 30 to 40% chance of rain.
Oh, well, that's fine with me. Sunny and then a little rain. Thanks,
Exactly.
Erica.
Thanks.